Welcome in to Cronkite Sports Live. I'm Elaine Wilson.
And I'm Zach Pockle. Elaine, we have a show that's chock-a-block full of Sun Devil-y goodness.
Yeah, if you were to Google spring sports, it would take you right here to our studios. So let's start with the Devils on the diamond. Get out your brooms. ASU baseball decided to start their season with some spring cleaning by sweeping Xavier last weekend. But Nevada, they came to spoil the party. The Sun Devils lost to the Wolfpack 11-5 Tuesday night, and the Sun Devils are now 4-1 going into this weekend.
The plate didn't change, so we didn't walk people this weekend. And from a defensive standpoint, there were plenty of balls put in play, and we made plays defensively. You look at tonight, we walked a bunch of people, and we didn't make plays defensively. So, that was disappointing.
There were a lot of questions coming into this season for ASU baseball, especially with 9 Sun Devils being drafted. With me now to answer just a few of those winning questions is beat writer Jacob Janauer. I think one of the biggest concerns in the offseason was that Sunday starter position with all these power pitchers leaving. What did you see from a couple of guys that pitched this weekend?
Well, they're close to a resolution with the job, but they're going to have one more tryout for Reagan Todd and Eli Lingos, the 2 competitors. Because of an injury to Ever Bueno this weekend, both will get a chance in the rotation once again. Last weekend, Reagan Todd pitched a little bit better against Xavier. It was a 4-game series, so they could both get action in. 5 1/3 for Todd, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, no earned runs. Lingos also threw 5 1/3, but 8 hits and 2 earned runs, so he was good, not quite as sharp. So right now, I'd give the edge to Reagan Todd.
Now, one of the more experienced parts of this defense, the infield, Colby Woodmansey and David Greer both coming in and having a hot weekend. What do you expect from them this weekend?
Well, Woodmansey and Greer are 2 veteran presences on this very young team. Woodmansey, people had him as a first-team All-American, and he's really showing that so far. 6 doubles, which leads the country, and he has the only Sun Devil home run, and then Greer might be the most underrated player on this Sun Devil team. He had a hit or a walk in 11 of his 15 plate appearances in the series against Xavier.
Yeah, that's awesome. And when it comes to the infield, they're on fire. But when it comes to the outfield, they're more simmering. What have you seen from the outfield with a little bit of inexperience?
Well, Tracy Smith's kind of mixed and matched, trying to find the right 3 outfielders, and I think he's finally there. The first guy, Daniel Williams, a left fielder, junior college transfer. He's been hitting leadoff, 5 for 17 so far this season, leads the team with 6 runs. And then Andrew Schaps hitting .333 so far. He's got 3 runs and a couple highlight reel plays in center field. And then the final guy, Gage Canning, probably the most hyped freshman on this team. He's been hitting 7th or 8th right now, but he's come up with a couple huge hits with runners in scoring position that have driven in runs. So expect him to eventually be the leadoff hitter for the Sun Devil team.
Awesome. Now, the ASU baseball team is looking to build off of their momentum from that sweep of Xavier. They're going to be playing Long Beach State this weekend. Thank you so much for joining us, Jacob.
Thanks, Elaine.
Sun Devil women's basketball celebrated Senior Day last weekend, honoring the 5 seniors leaving the program. Katie Hempen, Lily Davis, and Arnesia Hawkins are among the seniors leading ASU's historic run. But with their successful season so far, the Devils may play host to the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament, making Senior Day just another game.
Me personally, I looked at it as an everyone's game day, just like any other normal game. Knowing that hopefully we can get the first 2 rounds here at home, that would be awesome too. So I think knowing that we might have a good chance of playing at home again just helped, I think, a lot of the emotions as well.
Now the Sun Devils head out to California for the weekend. They'll take on the Trojans of USC tonight, an opponent who they barely beat earlier this month in the final minutes of the game. Carrie Crowley, take us with the call.
Devils hang on. Inbound goes up for Fag Benley. And not enough time. The refs wave it off. ASU wins.
The team then heads 15 miles north to wrap up their regular season slate against the UCLA Bruins. The Sun Devils took down the Bruins earlier this season, but that was in Tempe. Now they try to take home a W in LA, where the Bruins have only dropped 1 game this season. The Sun Devils are second in the Pac-12 with 1 conference loss. They are expected to receive a first-round bye in the Pac-12 tournament. The last time Sun Devil hockey allowed a goal was February 6th. That's right, 132 minutes of game time has passed without goaltenders Robert Levin and David Jacobson allowing one in the net, a total of 33 saves between the 2. Even sweeter, one of those shutouts was over rival Arizona. To end their season, ASU will face the U.S. National Under-18 squad twice this weekend, Saturday at Oceanside and Sunday at Gila River Arena.
As always, fantastic work from Ryan Curry, and I got to give him a shout out. 85 followers on Twitter. He's climbing that social media pole. We give him a hard time about it, but social media is so important in journalism. It's the way it is.
Exactly, and you're getting a little ahead of yourself here. It's time for the way it is. 6 questions, 3 each, 15 seconds apiece. We give you our take. I know you started last time, so I'm going to start this time. Pac-12 Wrestling Championships, we were talking about it with Ethan Gaines earlier. Does Blake Stauffer win the 184 division?
I think he has every reason to. He's been the #1 wrestler in that division in the Pac-12. I think he takes it home this weekend. Now, you talked about ASU women's basketball there in LA. They had senior day last week. Who's the most important senior on Charlie Turner Thorne's team?
Well, it's easy to say Katie Hempen. She has the 3-point all-time record now, but I'm going to say Lily Davis. She became a vocal leader this season after Promise Amukamara left and was really a big defensive leader on this team. We were talking about baseball earlier with Jacob Janauer. David Greer just having a monster season already in the first weekend. Does he bat over 400 on the season?
I consulted my sources, and they told me to say yes. He's been taking the cover off the ball, and I see every reason why he should be able to sustain it for the rest of the season. Now, we brought Andre Sims on the show earlier to talk about the girls in the circle. Who do you got, Kessler or Maha? Who's your ace?
Well, I know Andre said it was Kessler, and she has been impressive up until this point, but it's such a limited sample size right now. I am more comfortable with saying Maha is the ace for this team. Now, something you don't have to consult any sources about, ASU men's basketball Trey Holder, is he an all Pac-12 point guard?
If you would have asked me 3 weeks ago, I would have said yes, definitely, but he struggled as of late. He struggled against the SoCals and in ASU's last 2 games, and so I think because of that, he has lost his spot on the all Pac-12 team, but he'll make the most improved player. Now, we talked about a lot of sports, but we didn't talk about every single athlete. Who's the most underappreciated spring athlete?
I'm going to name someone you probably haven't heard of before, Fale Lua on the softball team. She has been impressive. She's a freshman. She's on the infield. I see her really booming at the end of the season. What about you?
I got to go with the 2 sports athlete that somebody does know, or that we have talked about, Tim White, El Blanco.
El Blanco with the 2-sport athlete. Now, our producers are going to decide who wins the way it is by putting it on the monitor behind us. So, the winner of the way it is me.
Oh, whatever.
What?
Okay, producers, I see how it is.
All right, I'm pretty excited about this one. Following the loss to Colorado, U of A's Sean Miller, he said that one day, one of his players will have to punch a fan in self-defense if opposing fans storm the court. Remember, ASU fans, one of those times that Miller is upset with is last year at Wells Fargo Arena. There should be high security at college basketball games to prevent a wild mob, but eliminating court storming altogether is against the nature of the sport. Let fans enjoy the win. Just don't provoke those you defeat, and that's the way it is. Time for top plays. All right, we're going to stop at number 3. This one's a base hit. ASU in this game had 11 hits on the night and 6 runs. This is just an example of one of them dominating so far through all the tournaments that they've had so far this season. And we're going to go back to the circle. We've been talking about her throughout this show. It's going to be Kelsey Kessler. She got 12 strikeouts on the night. We're just going to show a few of them. They were all pretty dang impressive. I know Andre says she might be the ace, and she might be. We just need to see more from her. Very impressive nonetheless.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Woo! But now a Sun Devil, which we appreciate, and there's a ton of Sun Devil sports going on this weekend, especially when it comes to softball. They're all home for this weekend for this tournament.
Yeah, we covered every single thing that you need to know. Make sure you stay on CronkiteSports.com for all of our coverage.
All right, thanks for joining us.